bringing in musicians from literally all over the world on 3 big stages, plus all kinds of workshop stages, and it's all free. I mean, a lot of people, it's $100 a day to see the exact same quality and the exact same musicians somewhere else. It would be $100 a day.
The whole setup here is great. You know, just enough spacing. There's a park venue, there's one right downtown. It's good sound, it's well organized, it's advertised.
I think it is great for Kitchener-Waterloo to have this festival.
The first festival was in 2001 on what's now Carl's Air Square in front of City Hall. The stage was the granite plinth that was there in the square. There were 7 acts. It was a Saturday afternoon evening. John McKinley, I believe, was on the stage, and some folks from Stratford that had played with Janis Joplin's band. The closing act was Mel Brown and the Homewreckers. The big significance, it was the start of something really big for Kitchener and for the region. It just ballooned and grew over the years, gradually morphed into what we have today. Three very major outdoor stages, including Victoria Park and, of course, still at City Hall, plus a stage in Krabby Joe's parking lot, the corner of Benton and King Street, and a nice flow of foot traffic between those 3 locations that lends itself to what's gone on from an afternoon to 3 solid days of free blues music.
I'm a Texan by birth, and my family's been there for generations. I'm a daughter of the Alamos. I grew up listening to blues.
Yeah, the vibe, the energy, it's almost a carnival-like atmosphere that I enjoy. You can see footage of, say, somebody playing guitar or a band playing, but you see the crowd and you see all the lights and stuff like that. It's just a whole different, there's kind of noise and atmosphere going on. And the daytime, it evolves too. So in the morning when we first open up, slower pace, more people grabbing French fries and stuff like that, and just sitting on a picnic table and eating and enjoying what's there. And then around 2 o'clock, there's people with strollers and what have you. Then by 7 o'clock, we're bracing ourselves because usually some of the headliners are coming on, and you see a different crowd arriving and the tents filling up. It's the energy.
We always say we're one of the best, I think is the way we kind of say it. But I look at more of what the quality of what it is we put on, and the quality of the acts, and the fact that we're able to draw. The fact that acts like that want to come here, that's another statement about we're doing something right. If we get that high quality of talent that would go and play in Memphis and Chicago and places like that and want to come up to Kitchener and play, it says something. So.
At the same time, in a couple of the clubs, we have workshops that are programmed to be somewhat educational, feature usually some of the remote musicians that are coming in from the US, say, or Europe, to talk about various aspects of blues in a more workshop environment. And those are usually held in the afternoons.
I'm in love with a girl from the other side of town. Always laughing, trying to put that good girl down. I'm in love with a girl. I'm in love with a girl.
And then in the evenings, because we finish the outdoor performances by 11, we then continue the music in a bunch of clubs. So we call it, we've traditionally called it 12 Bar Blues. We have a number of venues, and we book acts, many of which are included on the main stages, so they'll go into a club and perform in a much more intimate environment. So I think it's one of the more interesting aspects to the festival, because you never know who might show up from all the people that are booked that year and just drop by and jam. We had one year where Rick Estrin dropped in on Lucky Peterson's gig, and you know, you can't buy a ticket for that. It just happens. But believe me, it was fabulous. Those kinds of things add a whole different vibe to the festival. Now it's gone from that family-friendly outdoor environment to a more gritty, urban, almost Austin type of vibe.
There's nothing like this in Canada, where you get all 3 days of fun and music and it's free. I don't think there's anything quite like it. So, you know, the proof's in the pudding as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome job. Thank you.
Well, it's a big part for the young kids. I mean, we've watched an awful lot of these young kids come up, and they've got their own bands now. You have to have a place for kids to grow, and you have to have a place for kids to nurture their talent. And, you know, the Kitchener Blues Festival and everything that kind of is affiliated around it. But you have to have that. You have to have that support for the arts, or it's just not going to happen.
We partner with the Grand River Blues Society. So the Grand River Blues Society put together a blues camp the week of the festival, and they bring in kids from all over and use local musicians to teach the kids, and they all get a nice spot on one of our stages, which is for them is a real thrill because it's of course a large professional stage.
Our camp that we've been working 3 days on is finally performing on stage at the Kitchener Blues Festival, so it's pretty awesome.
They're starting out musicians, most of them, so it's a real fun introduction to both blues music, being trained by professionals and getting a great spot on a stage.
We've got all sorts of people that have been working so hard this week. Come on, skedaddle up here. We're going to get this show on the road. Okay, without further ado, let me present these wonderful, wonderful people to you. Grand River Blues Camp,
I am shocked that we can take 50 kids and get them playing together and whip them into shape in 4 days, put them on stage and put on a pretty darn impressive performance. The kids loved it, the parents loved it, the audience loved it.
We want to give a special thanks to our funders and sponsors.
So we're the Downtown Kitchener Business Improvement Area, and we represent all the members of Downtown Kitchener, the business owners, the restaurants, retail, coffee shops. We work to improve the area, to make it the very best it can be, to attract people to Downtown Kitchener. The Blues Festival brings this amazing culture of quality in music and an experience for everyone that visits. An amazing flow of days, eating awesome food, listening to quality music, for people to walk and explore all the different offerings from the restaurants and all the different cuisine and the bars, and then after hours when they do the 12-bar blues. It's a great experience for people.
Music has an incredible capacity to connect us, amplify voices that aren't always heard, and open doors to a more inclusive tomorrow. That's why we support Canadian music with a focus through the TD Ready commitment on experiences that bring people together and break down barriers, even when we're apart.
15-year-old guys playing drums, blowing me away. Guitar players like crazy. There was a keyboard guy up here just working the left hand. I'm telling you, we have the talent in this community. It's fantastic.
Each year we have our Youth Legacy Showcase where we invite kids who are 21 years and younger to come out to a little showcase presentation, judged using the same scoring process that's used at the IBCs in Memphis.
The band that's been chosen by the judges is the Johanna Pavia.
And the person that comes out on top, or the group that comes out on top, gets a spot on our stage. They open up typically our YNC stage at City Hall at noon on Saturday. And we've had some great young people come through that stage that are now working professional musicians.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Downtown Kitchener BIA stage here at the 2013 TD Kitchener Blues Festival. Our next act is a man who's raised right here in KW, comes from a musical family. First saw him actually when he was but a wee lad at Pop the Gator way back in the day. Started his musical career as a teenager, has been on the road in 20 different countries. Please welcome to the TD Kitchener Blues Festival, Kitchener-Waterloo's very own Sean Kellerman.
Starting with Glenn Smith, bringing bands from the 80s here, that was an amazing start. And then to have someone move here with that Southern influence to a community in Ontario, Canada, was amazing. Well, Pop the Gator, wow, I was 16 and 17, and it gave me an outlet to play blues, to play every Wednesday with Mel Brown. I mean, you can't go to school for that. It's just good. You know, it's now this festival. This is in the upper echelon of great festivals and a place to play. And I'm glad I could come home for one day off a tour with Lucky Peterson. He allowed me to come home and play.
Oh man, I'm home. I got to mess around a little bit.
The Kitchener Blues Festival is about the music, but it's also very much about community, and the community that makes the festival happen and maintains its energy year after year.
You know, it takes all kinds of people and all kinds of different events to really build a community. You know, we're not just houses with a bunch of people living in them. We have to come out. We have to enjoy these events. And it's so great that the City of Kitchener makes this space available for us and for other festivals too. And we're really happy that they do that throughout the year. It does build that sense of community, and we're just really proud that we can be part of that.
From an arts and cultural perspective, there's so much to do in this area, whether it's the Blues Festival here in Kitchener, the Jazz Festival in Waterloo, the Multicultural Festival in June. You know, we're continually looking to see how we can grow our arts and culture scene. And the Blues Festival has really grown over the decade. really Canada's foremost blues festival, and we look forward every year, prior to the pandemic of course, to welcoming people from across Canada and beyond.
The Sun Life Financial Uptown Waterloo Jazz Festival. 3 days of live music with 2 stages, over 20 artists, and more than 35,000 jazz fans. Visit uptownwaterloojazz.ca for lineups and showtimes.
You need to have a strong arts community to be able to attract and keep people here, to work in the businesses that are here, right? Everybody wants to work and live in a place that's a vibrant place to live, not just work, right? And having a great music environment, an arts environment is a big part of that. And I think Kitchener-Waterloo has done a really good job and working hard at that. So, and we've got to continue to do that to make sure we keep the talent here, keep the companies here, keep the employment here. And a way to do that is providing, kind of an all-round kind of place, quality of place to live.
Waterloo Region is a place of exceptional energy and growth. It has one of the most diverse economies in North America and is growing at a rate 2 times faster than the rest of Canada. Home to some of the most dynamic companies in the world, it is known as Canada's Technology Triangle. 50,000 students and 150 research institutes make it an internationally renowned center for education and research.
We've got a financial services sector that's really strong, but we have a high-tech community here. We've got universities and colleges. Got a nice integrated ecosystem here that's sustainable from an employment and an economic standpoint.
Successful cities grow with people as a priority. They must remain vibrant, attractive places for people to live, work, and play. Music, arts, architecture, theater, galleries, public places, and festivals play a key role.
Cities grow organically. The more organic the growth is, the more successful it is. The best way to illustrate the point that I'm making is to come back here in this very same spot at about 7:30 at night and see the lights on and see the people living there and actually participating and committing to being downtown. Not to mention the fact that all of a sudden there's incentive for businesses all up and down the street to open up. And now we're going to have this. We've got the school down the street. We've got other developments coming all around the city. This becomes an anchor and an incentive for other people to make that happen.
All of these things reflect commitment to a quality of civic space and public space, pedestrian space, streetscapes, riverside walkways. I mean, the quality of the urban environment is a very big factor, and the cultural environment in general is a very big factor in attracting a high quality, well-educated and creative workforce. It's pretty impressive, and it represents a really tremendous commitment to design quality.
Waterloo Region is now home to a number of international award-winning development projects and architectural achievements. A new state-of-the-art LRT system and major street art projects represent an investment in the future vitality of the region. We want to give a special thanks to our funders and sponsors.
Our company's name is Document Print Integrity. We've been in the KW area for about 20 years now.
and we're a full commercial printer. So we supply businesses with their printing needs, such as business cards, letterhead, forms, posters. Anything that you need printed, we can supply you with that. We love the festival, and it was just a natural fit because I love music and I love blues music. Well, the festival for me is like a second Christmas, actually. I'm there Friday until Sunday afternoon. We enjoy everything that goes on there. It's just a class act. They provide class groups that come from all over the world, so I just love it. So we always have a great time with that, and the rest of the volunteers and the whole committee have been, so helpful and everything too, and especially volunteers. I thank them every year when I'm out there. 400 volunteers that put their heart and soul, everything from the stage managers to the people picking up beer cans, which there are usually a lot of in the tent.
We had a volunteer orientation evening. We have over 400 of them, and as I said to those folks, they truly are the fuel that this engine runs on that makes this festival go. And so they've just done a fabulous job for us year in, year out. We have a wonderful mix of returning volunteers and new volunteers. So it's really great to see both the people that have come and shared the experience with us over the years, and also to see some fresh faces.
I like participating. I like putting my energy into something that becomes bigger. I enjoy the music. I enjoy putting on the event. I enjoy seeing it come together and seeing the bands come alive and that crowd come alive. What KBF does to downtown Kitchener, the whole downtown shuts down. Closed streets and stalls and food, the energy level, I don't know what to compare it to. It's just that feeling. It's electric.
Yeah, I used to be a sinner, and I liked it. Yeah, I used to be a sinner, and I liked it. I never wanted to hurt nobody, didn't think about heaven or hell, just get my kicks and move along.
Beautiful Saturday night in 2013 Kitchener Blues Fest, right? It's an absolute pleasure to be in Kitchener. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming out tonight to the Kitchener Blues Festival. Hope you had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Music has an incredible capacity to connect us, amplify voices that aren't always heard, and open doors to a more inclusive tomorrow. That's why we support Canadian music through the TD Ready commitment, with a focus on creating experiences that bring people together and break down barriers even when we're apart.
And you have a lot of young people here because of the universities and college. So we've been working really hard at appealing to that demographic through how we reach people through social media. But I think Claude has also worked really hard at trying to bring and sort of span the genres a little bit to make them more appealing to that younger demographic. Sheepdogs, when we brought Sheepdogs in, it was really great because the younger crowd knew who they were. And yet the older crowd may have not known who they were, but sure appreciated the quality of music they put on. And so it was a nice opportunity to have a successful fundraising concert that year. So. But you know, young people like to be outdoors, right? They like to do things. So we've got bike paths galore, and they're getting better and better, right? And they're getting more connected. So there's real opportunities just to hop on your bike and go around. And we're surrounded by little hamlets. You know, if we were in Europe, people would be hopping on a train going off to all these little hamlets. And you've got within probably 30, 40, 50 kilometers, you can touch a lot of little interesting places, right? That have natural beauty to them and a drive in the country. So you can come here and hub in, take some music in, but you also have a surrounding community here that would, you know, you canoe the Grand, you can cycle, you've got nice pubs.
If you go up above, upstream towards the Hespeler part, it widens up. There's some quite nice, ponds and waterfowl cruising. There's always something kind of interesting to see. Cool architecture and interesting merchandise to walk along. So spending a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday shopping in St. Jacobs, the town itself, is great. So I find that just to be another great draw for whenever I get people coming in from the United States to visit our company. If I can, I'll take them to the St. Jacobs Farmers Market. We like walking along the Grand River downtown Cambridge. You could do downtown Preston and Hespeler along the Speed River. One of the bigger things that I like around here is all the dining out and all the different variety, especially around the universities, Korean and Vietnamese and Greek, and so you think of all the food you can get, and some of it's quite good. And these are just little lunch places, and I could do a tour of just the food around the university alone, and I can't make up my mind as to what's my favorite. There's just so many.
The first time I played on the festival stage, I think I was 17 because I won the youth competition. I think it's fantastic. It's being able to walk around the other musicians and see the different people playing and being part of it. It's been great. Just having that big of a festival in town, it's for people who are either diehard music fans who can't wait for it, or people who stumble upon it and realize what a gem it is.
We want to give a special thanks to our funders and sponsors.
Did you know y'all got here in Waterloo, Kitchener? Come on. Come on, clap your hands.
Certainly being a sponsor, I've got to meet not only the artists I bring, but the people behind the scenes at the festival and the board, and it's made a lot of great friends and introduced a lot of people to the festival. Huntley O'Hagan Financial Planning, and we do independent individual financial planning. I couldn't be happier about the festival and being involved with it. And I may not be their biggest sponsor, but maybe their most enthusiastic. I've been fortunate that I've been able to bring a lot of these blues artists that I became aware of that had never played Kitchener before. And working with the artistic director like Claude Cloutier, he's willing to listen to what I want to do. And, so I've been able to sponsor some exciting things that make me get excited. They're great people, and they've done a lot, and they work a lot through the year to pull this thing off. But it's a fantastic event.
Best free blues festival ever. I'm a huge supporter.
The number of bands they have brings people here, brings me here to see all these great musicians.
I want to thank all the volunteers that make the breakfast possible today.
But it takes a community to put this thing on too. We got a community of volunteers that are phenomenal, and we had some of the best volunteers, and you can just tell that they're into it and love it, and they've been doing it for years.
I am part of a team that does artist hospitality. So we welcome the artists, all the musicians, backstage, and we create a comfortable, nourishing environment for them. And I volunteer to give. I love making people feel welcome, working hard, enjoying the vibe, meeting people, learning about new artists.
I think it's one of the most complete entertaining experiences this community offers in a very accessible way. It's a quality entertainment experience for all, and it's very accessible because we work really hard to be able to make it available to people for free.
Put your hands together, please, for the Kitchener Blues Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. We'll be back shortly with some great music.